All right, LDBC, this is your boy the coach. Let's skip the background noise, okay? Apologize. I had a long-term subscriber ask me about, would I be a stepdad? Now, I made a video about this before, okay? but it's been about 5 or 6 years ago, so I guess that video probably needs an addendum to it. So I'll let it be this. You asked me in an email, okay, would I ever be a stepdad? Well, I've already been there and done that. And your boy Coach won't be there again doing that. Fortunately for me, okay, it was a very brief period for me. Because when I understood what was going on and when I saw how everything was unraveling in front of my eyes, I knew that this is something that I could not do. And I knew for a fact that eventually in time, somebody was going to get hurt, okay? And it wasn't going to be me. Somebody was going to get dealt with, somebody was going to get hurt, but it damn sure was not going to be me. Here's the thing, okay? There are some stepdad and stepmom situations that work, okay? They absolutely do work. And there are a lot of stepdad, there are a lot of stepdad, stepmom situations where the kids are happy. There are no problems. These kids, they love their step-parents. And the step-parents, they love these kids. Okay? I know a couple of kids that I train who, they have, step-parents. And step-parents, they tell them what to do, and the kids listen. They respect those step-parents. But then that's like 1%. The majority of the people that I do know that are step-parents, they can't stand it. They can't stand being a step-parent. And the only reason why they stay in those relationships is because they love the mom or they love the daddy. That's the only reason why they stay around. But if it wasn't for that love that brought them together, they probably would bail. I know I did. I ain't really care. I cared about the woman I was with, but I bailed. I bailed quick. See, here's the thing, man. Kids, all kids, I don't care what you do for them. I don't care if you pay their car insurance. I don't care if you buy them a whole damn car. I don't care if you take them school shopping, okay? I don't care if you take them school shopping. I don't care if you buy the prom stuff. I don't care if you put them on your insurance. I don't care if you take them to school every day. I don't care if you take them to the doctor when they're sick. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you cook food for them every day. No matter what you do, okay? You can spend a lifetime trying to connect with that kid, but nature has already put inside of each and every one of us a connection that we long to have with our birth parents. Nature already did it. I don't care what you try to do. I don't care if the parent is the worst parent in the world. And we got a lot of parents that ain't shit. We got a lot of them. It don't matter what you try to do. Nature has already programmed us to have a connection with our birth parents. Okay? And that's why, to me, in my opinion, the stepdad and the stepmom whole dynamic doesn't work. I don't think it worked over time. I think it's gonna fail. I think over time. And I'm gonna give you an example. Y'all remember the man that was donating his sperm, and they pay you to do that. You donate your sperm, and then he had donated his sperm like he was doing it every day for like 3 years straight. If I recall the story. And do you know that those kids that this man donated the sperm, via these women, those kids, they found him. Do you know that the sperm, they found this man who donated his sperm? That ought to tell you that kids, they want to connect with their origin. They want to connect from where they came from. They want to connect. They don't want to connect with you or I because they're not their birth parents. And that's just something, if you're a step-parent, a stepmom, a stepdad, you have to understand that if that's what you choose to do. Now, when I was a young dude, my whole experience, when I was a young dude, it was this woman, she was bad. I mean, had checked off every box I had. Amazon check, the coach loves Amazon. Check that off. Could cook, check. Articulate, check. Good with money, check. All of the above. I mean, everything you want in a woman, she had, but she had a 9-year-old daughter. And I looked at that, I said, man, no, this can't be. Had a 9-year-old daughter. And so I said, okay, what do I do? I started looking at that mama. I said, but damn, she fine. I said, my goodness, man. Man, if I wake up, I mean, the mama was, y'all, she was bad. She was fine. And I'm like, what do I do here? Like, do I? I said, forget it. Okay, she got a kid. I'll treat the kid like the kid mine. And we'll make it do what we need to do. Okay, good. So, about 3 or 4 months later, I dated her for about 3 months. And then, the first 3 months, it was pretty cool. Like, me and the kid didn't interact because she had her space and I had my space. So I would see the kid when I would come over and say, hey, how you doing? That kind of stuff. But it wasn't like a big interaction. And I didn't have to take on no kind of father figure role. I didn't have to do that because I wasn't living in the same house. Okay, so it was pretty much like I was just her mother's boyfriend. And technically I can't say I was just a boyfriend. I never married a woman, but I acted in the capacity of like the man of the house. So, then she said, hey, we can put our money together and we can do this. And then, I can move in with you. Big mistake. I'm a young dude. Big mistake. Hey, we can move in with you. Put our money together. Now, I tell you what, financially, it was good. It was real good. It was real good. And I got my first townhome. I got that paid off. I got most of it paid. I got most of it paid because we were together. And I'd been in that townhome for, I don't know, about 8-9 years. And I'd been putting like a crazy amount of money down each time. Like I was paying like 3 and 4 payments a month because I was always saving my money. But then when she came in there, she started doing the same thing. So, see, this was everything you wanted in a woman. Everything. So, I'll say, they moved in. And I stayed for about 10 months they moved in. Me and her, we was, stacking up money. Both of us was. We saved a whole hell of a lot of money. And, we were just paying. We was paying for this townhome, paying it off. Because we were going to pay it off. I think we were going to pay this townhome off. Okay? Then we were going to sell it. Okay? We were going to sell it. We were going to renovate it, sell it, and then move into a big house. That was our plan. But this little girl did everything she could to just mess it up. And that's what happened. So my pet peeve is keeping the living area clean. I can't live in a filth. I can't live in filth. I can't live in a place that's just dirty. Can't do it. And my pet peeve with her was she would take food in the room. She'd take food in the room and then leave the damn plates in the room. And the damn plates grow mold and all this other shit on it. And nah, man, I don't like that because you keep doing that mold starts spreading and nah. So I told her one time, I said, hey, listen, baby girl, I'm gonna need you, don't eat in the room anymore. If you wanna eat anything, you keep it in the kitchen, okay? You use your, you wanna watch something on TV, use your phone, just watch it on TV. Okay, just watch it on TV, but don't put no plates back in that room because it leaves mold, and moreover, I grew up with roaches, and I darn sure as an adult, I ain't trying to live with them. I ain't trying to live with them as an adult. And when you leave moldy food, you leave all that stuff out, roaches will find your house. They'll find it, and roaches are extremely difficult to get rid of. They're extremely difficult to get rid of. So, I wasn't trying to hear it. So, she said, well, I didn't leave it in there that long. And I said, that don't matter. I don't want it in there, period. So, the girlfriend, or, the woman I was living with, came up to me and she said, hey, listen, she do something, you tell me and I tell her. And I said, nah, she in my house. She gonna listen to me in my house. I ain't finna go around, I ain't finna tiptoe around this little girl. She finna do what I tell her to do. If she in this house, okay, and y'all know my pet peeve, don't leave your stuff out. Okay, and like I'm the type person, if it's one dish in the sink, I'm gonna wash it. I'm not gonna leave it out, okay? It needs to be clean. And I ain't even mind her just putting it in the sink. I ain't care about that because I'm OCD and I would just go wash it anyway. That part didn't bother me. It's the fact that she would leave it out. Just leave it in the damn room because she's too lazy to get the plate, pick the damn plate up, and just put it in the sink. or put in the dishwasher. She was just too lazy to do it, wouldn't do it. You know, so I'm sitting there, I'm shaking my damn head like, are you serious? Oh, and let me tell you. So the next thing is you have to worry about is the baby daddy. I don't care if that woman tell you, well, her daddy not really in her life like that. Don't believe that, okay? Because even if the baby dad isn't in their life, that baby dad is coming, okay? He gonna come around eventually. He gonna have a midlife crisis. He gonna have an epiphany. But he's gonna want to spend time with his daughter. They all do it. I don't know when. It's just sometimes dudes, they spend their young years just being a piece of shit parent. That's what they do. And then next thing you know, they want to, be a part of their kid life. I mean, I don't know. And I'm not that dude that, would try to, make static with a parent that's trying to spend time with his kid. That ain't me. And she said, well, baby girl daddy, he want to pick her up and take her somewhere. This just came out the blue. I didn't know, that he was going to call and, I don't want it to be a problem and blah, 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 blah. And, he just want to come by and pick her up. I said, I don't really care him coming by. I said, but I don't want him talking to you. He can talk to me. He ain't talk to me. It's my house. Because, see, these exes, they try to manipulate these women. They try to manipulate these baby mamas. They try to get them to do other stuff. And so, I just wasn't having that. And it went all right, but, he was getting a little frustrated because she would never talk to him. He had to talk to me. When he came to pick up the kid, he had to talk to me. Like, yo, okay, you coming to my house. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay, this today you coming? Okay. Should be ready. Ain't nothing to talk to the baby mama about anymore because y'all ain't together no more. Ain't nothing to talk about, I understand the stuff with the kid or whatever y'all need to discuss, fine, but I'll be right there. Well, like stuff that she needed or whatever, I'm right there with them. Because they ain't play that, you call them behind the scenes. But then, do you really know if they're not talking behind the scenes? You really don't. The baby daddy is always going to be an issue. The baby mama will always be an issue. I don't care what you do. Okay? Now, at this time, the little girl I was paying, she was on my cell phone plan. She was on my health insurance. Okay, I was taking the little girl to school, dropping her off, taking her to the practices. I was doing all of that stuff, because her mom worked a third shift job. So, I was doing all of that. Every last bit of that, I was doing that. Cook. When the kid came home, cooked. Was doing all of the stuff. And all I asked, one thing, keep your stuff. Don't put your shoes in the room. Don't leave your clothes, shoes in the living room. And don't take food to the room. That's all I wanted. So, one day the dad, called her. And so I picked up her phone. I said, yeah, what's up? Oh, I was hoping to speak to so-and-so. I said, brother, I already told you. Okay, when you wanna come to my house, you call me. Oh, okay. I didn't realize why you answering the phone. I said, well, I'm answering the phone because I can. I said, you coming by? Okay, hey, no problem, man. Hey, should be ready for you. So, went out. He got her. They started doing their thing and brought her back. So she took her shoes off and left them in the living room. I said, hey, baby girl, you need to get these shoes up. She looked at me. She said, well, my daddy said I can leave my shoes in the living room if I want to. So, I'm mad. I'm fuming. Your daddy? I said, your daddy don't live here. Your daddy don't pay no damn bills here. Get these damn shoes up out my damn living room. So, her mama came over there and looked now. I'm going to talk to her. She just don't like it when people just yell at her. I said, I don't give a F. I said, tell her to pick these damn shoes up out my damn living room. How about that? Get these shoes up out my living room. And so when she was trying to refuse, I stood right in her way. I said, you ain't going nowhere till you pick these damn shoes up. And I said, if your daughter try to walk by me and if I got to put hands on them, put hands on them. But I'm tired of telling her about keeping my place clean and keeping her room. I'm tired of it. And my daddy said I can eat in the room if I want to. Well, your daddy don't pay no bills around here. The nerve of this ninja telling his daughter that she can do whatever she want in my house. And I said, well, if that's the case, go live with him. If that's the case, go live with him. Go live with your daddy. Go live with your daddy. So, she out on the phone. And daddy, can I Daddy, he being mean, and he told me to pick up the stuff, and Daddy, can you just come get me? Can I come live with you? And you can hear this ninja on the phone talking about, well, baby girl, I got a lot of stuff going on, I got work, and baby girl, they ain't a good time right now for that. So basically, your own daddy didn't want your little ass, and he didn't want you. But this dude wanted to, sit back and try to tell you what you can do in my house. Try to dictate what I can do and who I can talk to in my own house. No, that ain't gonna happen. So when the girl daddy pretty much told her, no, I ain't coming to get you, try to be nice about it. No, I ain't coming up there. Okay. Then the mama was saying, look, you raised your voice too loud to her, and that's just not what it is. I said, no, you clean up after yourself. You don't leave your shoes in here, and you don't put dishes in the room. I said, you already know that's what it is. That little girl turned around and she said, you ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what I can and can't do. I said, you're absolutely right. And she said, and the mama, my girl said, what that mean? I said, you and her, y'all finna get the hell out. She said, what? Y'all finna get the hell out. And go where? Go to his house. I said, it seemed like that he making the rules around here. I said, go to his house. Because around here, I'm the king of this. Man, I took their stuff. I started packing that stuff up. And I started throwing the stuff outside in the lawn. I packed up their stuff. I got as much of it out as I can. I put them out. I put them right out. Closed my door. They was knocking on the door. I ain't even open the door. But I put them out my house. I put her and I put that disrespectful ass little girl out of my damn house. They for the streets. Told them they can kiss my ass. Because I'm not finna sit here and do all of this stuff for you. Do all of this stuff. I'm talking about, taking you to school, taking you to practice. Had you on my phone playing. I cut all that mess off. Had you on my phone playing. Had you on, in insurance, taking you to doctor appointments. Like doing all kind of stuff, playing, gave you a birthday party. Oh, and I ain't tell y'all about the birthday party. So I planned a birthday party for her 10th birthday. And so I planned this party. And, she invited the dad over. Now, I ain't had no problem with it. They should have told me, but he just showed up. And okay, first, I ain't saying that he had to have a gift for his daughter. Nothing. None of that. No gifts, no nothing, that's fine, But this dude, he pulled up in a nice little car, though. Pulled up in a Lexus. And somebody he can't afford to keep his daughter, somebody he didn't even bring a gift. He just showed up to eat. Okay? Still ain't had a problem with him, but then she, little friends there, she said, I want to thank my friends, and, I want to thank my family, thank my mom and my daddy, for being here and putting this party on. And so I stood up, I said, your mom and daddy didn't do this, I did this. The little girl got mad. And then after that, when she came in, took her shoes off, that's when the whole me putting them out happened after that. That's when me putting them out happened like maybe a few days after that. I put them all out my house. I put them out. And didn't look back. I used to get little texts from, my ex-girlfriend from time to time. I still get a few now. Hey, how you been? Just checking on you, see how you been, and blah, blah, blah. Maybe sometime we can sit down and talk, and ain't nothing to talk about. I just delete and ignore and keep that moving. That was my experience being a stepdad. Folks, I'm just going to tell you, if that's where you want to go, it's a chance of all of that happening to you. Because if you're a man, you're going to have to deal with that baby daddy unless, he's deceased. You're going to have to deal with him. Okay, and first, he going to try to act like he cool. He going to try to act like he cool and, you just, the girlfriend, you just the boyfriend or whatever. But little by little, he going to turn that kid against you. Then he going to try to get back in with the baby mama. Okay? He going to try to do that. I don't care what you do, how you slice it, how you dice it. He's going to be in the way. He's going to cause a problem. And every time in this scenario, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. And nothing you do is going to ever be good enough. The more that you do, the more that they disrespect you. And the less that he does, the more that they respect him. And I just, life too long for me to be trying to, integrate into somebody else's family to be accepted when I can just accept my damn self and be happy accepting me instead of somebody else having to accept me. You got to remember, man, when you're an outsider, you're not a part of these people's family. They don't care about you. The only thing they care about is what you can provide, but they don't care about you. Okay, you're nothing to these people. When you're an outsider and you're your stepfather in or stepmother in to a family, they don't care about you. You're nothing, and you're gonna be nothing to them. It don't matter now when the money's stopping and they can't afford anything, they can't afford to do anything. Then it becomes important. But to be honest, you're nothing, and you will never be anything but a money bag or just an ATM to these people. I would tell you, in my opinion, don't be a stepdad. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, look, man, you can find plenty of women out here with no kids. You ain't got to deal with the baby daddy drama. Okay, you ain't got to be, one to have to put your hands on somebody. Okay, there's no threat of you going to jail. Like, it's just so much stuff that's stress-free about not being a stepdad. It just is. It's more stress-free. I don't know, man. I don't know. Most people, I make a video and, I think they just listen to it as something to listen to and don't really take the advice. But if you do it, I don't know, man. It's on you. But I can guarantee you, it's going to take you back. See, lucky for me, my ordeal was only about 8 to 9 months. And I finally picked it up. See, for me, the birthday party and the daddy telling her that she ain't got to listen to me and she could put her shoes on my living room floor, by the way. See, for me, that was it for me. I was done. I was completely done with the whole situation, and I exited that situation. And you, my friend, you're probably going to need to do the same thing.